Welcome everyone. In preparation of our forthcoming exam, we'll be taking the course Computer Fundamentals GST 103. Let's get straight into it. Just before we go straight into it, I'd like to make some things clear to us as this exam is coming forth. There are some things we have to bear in mind. Things like exams are going to be computer based tests, and computer based tests you will not be given the chance to rephrase when you are given question. What do I mean by rephrasing? Rephrasing in the sense that when you are asked a question, use your discretion in answering it. No, it is not allowed when it comes to CBT. What you are required is to garbage in and garbage out. For example, as you can see on the screen of the system, it says here, in this module, we shall discuss the following topics. If this is a question in your exam, and the question says, in this dash, we shall discuss the following topics. If you do not, the answer is module, you know it quite okay. But if you do not get this correctly, the system will mark as MODULLE. The system marks it wrong for you. Please. So you have to be very particular about the spelling, and you have to be very particular about the word. You have to understand the material by each sentences and if possible word for word. So now that this is made known to us and this is clear, this is going to be the basis at which we are going to use in studying this material. We are going to go through each sentences, reading slowly so that we can comprehend. Now we have study unit 1, basic concept. We have table of content, definition of the computer, basic understanding of data processing, the concept of data and information, methods of data processing, characteristics of computer. So we have introduction. Computer is fast becoming the universal machine of the 21st century. We can all agree to that. Early computers were large in size and too expensive to be owned by individuals. Thus, they were confined to laboratories and few research institutes. That means before now, computers were very expensive and they were big. So it's only laboratories and few research institutes that can afford such. So computers in homes were limited and in organizations they were few. They could only be programmed by computer engineers. The basic applications were confined to undertaking complex calculations in science and engineering. Now, computers in those days before now, they have basic they have basic applications, and those basic applications were complex calculations in science and engineering. Today, computer is no longer confined to the laboratory. Now, as you can see, computers and indeed computing have become embedded in almost every item we use. As you can see, that is very correct. We have a system built in form of a mini system in a phone, in a cell phone, in our tracking devices and other devices we use from time to time. Computer is fast becoming them we use. Computing is fast becoming ubiquitous. Ubiquitous simply means it is appearing almost everywhere. Everywhere and there you can find computer. Computer are found nowadays not just in the lab anymore, but you can find computer in houses, in offices, in schools, personal computer with individuals. Its application transcends science, engineering, communication, space science, aviation, financial institution, social science, humanities, the military, transportation, manufacturing, extractive industries, to mention but a few. This unit presents the background information about computer. As you can see, the conclusion of this unit has taught us the background of computer. From the beginning, we're made to understand that computer were big when they were newly introduced. They were big, and not everyone could afford computers. So computers were just limited to laboratories and some few places. Now, computer these days can be found everywhere. Now, the word ubiquitous was used because you can find computer in almost everywhere you go to. Now, then it was complex calculation and engineering that computer were used for. But today, computer can literally do almost everything we require of it. Now, as you can see, we're also made to understand that computer, its application transcends science, engineering, communication, space science, aviation, financial institution, and so more, and so much, and so more. Now, let's go straight right into it. Definition: a computer is basically defined as a tool or machine used for processing data to give required information. Let me take that again. Computer is basically defined as a tool or machine used for processing data to give required information. It is capable of A. Taking input data through the keyboard. Input unit. Now, let me explain this quickly. Computer is a machine. It is a tool that we use to process data. Data could be a piece of information. Data could be a piece of information, whether soft or in hard form, given to the computer. But basically, computer processes soft information in the sense that you use input devices to communicate information to the computer, and such input device is the keyboard. I mean, computer receives information and instruction and process them. Now, the information is called data. The information is called data. Data is given to the computer and it receives by processing it. Now, it is capable of taking input through the keyboard, which is the input device. It is written input unit here. Input unit is used to give computer information. It is used to give computer data. Computer take input data through keyboard. Now, secondly, said storing the input data in a diskette, hard disk, or other medium. Now, computer receives this information through the input device and stores it in a diskette, hard disk, or other medium. This is where computer stores information. This is where computer stores data. I said C, processing it at the central processing unit. Central processing unit stands for CPU, and this is where computer process information. After computer receives, it stores it. After it receives information through the input device, the keyboard, it stores it into a storage, and the storage could be diskette, hard disk, or any other medium. And after it has stored, then it transfers it to the CPU. The CPU does the processing. The CPU does the processing it at the central processing unit and giving out the result. Now, the result it gives out, when you give information to the computer and it receives it and it stores it, then processes it, then it gives it back. That is why it's called the garbage in, garbage out. When you give information or data to the computer, then it gives it back after it must have received, stored, then processed. Now, it said giving out the result output into bracket on the screen or the virtual display unit, that is VDU. The virtual display unit, that is the screen of your computer. It could be the screen of your monitor, it could be the screen of your laptop. Now, as you can see, the diagram below shows there are three boxes. We have the input pointing at processing, pointing at output. Now, under input, we have data in brackets. Now, under processing, there is nothing under it, but we should have CPU under it. Now, and we have the arrow pointing to output, and under output is called information. So we'll move to the next thing. Set schematic diagram to define a computer. That's what we have there above, the schematic diagram that defines a computer. Now, data. Let's not forget, we spoke about data earlier. That data is information given to the computer. Now, we said, now defining data. The term data is referred to facts about a person, object, or place, e.g., name, age, complexion, school, class, height. Now, data now they are breaking down data. Now, when we talk about giving information, giving data to the computer, this data could be a person's information. This data could be about a person, it could be about an object, it could be about a place, about name, age. Now, the term data is referred to facts about a person, object, or place, e.g., name, age, complexion, school, class, height, etc. So we have information. Information is referred to as a processed data or a meaningful statement. Net, e.g., net pay of workers, examination, result of student, list of successful candidates in an examination or interview, etc. Now, as you can see, information is broad. Information is deeper compared to that of data. As we were told before now that data is referred to as fact about a person, object, or place. Now, information is referred to a processed data, a data that has been processed. As you can see, net pay, net pay. Now, it's not just net pay, we have net pay of workers. We could have examination results. That could be data. But information now is saying examination result of students. I hope we are following. Now, method of data processing. It is here. It says here the following are the three major methods that have been widely used for data processing over the years. Three methods. How many methods? Major methods of data processing. We have three of them. One, manual method. Two, mechanical method. And computer method. Please note that again. Three widely, majorly used methods of data processing: manual method, mechanical method, computer method. Now, we have manual method. The manual method of data processing involves the use of chalk, ball, pencil, and the like. These devices, machine, or tools facilitate human effort in recording, classifying, manipulating, storing, and presenting data or information. Now, let's take that again. It says manual method. Manual method is a process that involves the use of chalk. It could be markers, it could be chalk, it could be wall, it could be pencil, and etc. These devices, the reason why the manual method employs these devices is to facilitate human effort in recording, classifying, manipulating, sorting, and presenting data or information. As you can see here, data and information, they are interchangeably used. The manual data processing operations entails considerable manual effort. You can't do without the manual. You cannot separate effort from the manual method. Please note that effort, manual method, they work hand in hand because manual method requires the effort of an human. The effort of an human. That is why it is called a manual. Now, first, manual method is cumbersome. It is tiresome. It is boring. It could be frustrating and time consuming. It says here, first, manual method is cumbersome, tiresome, boring, frustrating, and time consuming. Furthermore, the process of data by the manual method is likely to be affected by human errors. Now, as you can see, it is said that the manual method, out of the three widely method of data processing, now the manual method has to do with human effort, and human efforts, the facilitation of this human effort has to be through some devices and tools, which are chalk, wall, pen, and the like. Now, it is said that this manual method could be frustrating, could be tiresome, could be boring, and consuming. Are we together? And not just that, these processes can also be affected by the human factor, although it is said here human error. Human error or factor in the sense that emotion could set in the sense that human could commonly make some mistakes, distractions could set in, and so on and so forth. When there are errors, then the reliability, accuracy, neatness, tidiness, and validity of the data could be in doubt. Take that again. When there are errors, then the reliability, accuracy, neatness, tidiness, and validity of data could be in doubt. The manual method does not allow for the processing of large volume of data on a regular and timely basis. Now, if we were asked to have written some defects or some disadvantages of the manual method, I think we have enough. Now we have human factor, we have it could be boring, it could be tiresome, and it's also said that it's not timely. That if the human error can affect the productivity, then it can never be reliable, it might not be accurate, it might not be neat, it might not be tidy, and it might not validate data. As we can see, these are so much advantages. The manual method does not allow for the process of large volume of data. You can see it does not permit large volume of data. Now, let's move to the second method. Mechanical method. The mechanical method of data processing involves the use of machines such as typewriter, renewed machine, adding machine, and the like. This machine facilitates human efforts in recording, classifying, manipulating, sorting, and presenting data or information. The mechanical operations are basically routine in nature. There is virtually no creative thinking. Now let's take this quickly. As you can see, mechanical is just like the opposite of manual method. Mechanical substitutes human in the question. Human does the manual, machines does the facilitation process in mechanical. And as you see here, it says the routine. It says here that mechanical operation is basically routine in nature because it's the same thing every time. It's the same typing, the same typewriter you need to use in typing. So as you can see, here we have machines such as typewriter, renew machines, adding machines, and the like. And we are see the machine facilitate efforts in recording, classifying, manipulating, sorting, and presenting data or information. Now, let's move to the next one. It says mechanical operations are noisy, hazardous, error prone, and untidy. I Why am I not surprised? The machine has to still be facilitated by human, just that now it's no longer the pencil, it's no longer the wall, marker, and the likes. It's now the machine assisting human. Now, and it says here that the operation could be noisy. We are typing typewriter, pa, 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 pa. Could make noise, could be dangerous. Sometimes electrical issues and error prone and untidy. Now, the mechanical method does not allow for the process of large volume of data continuously and timely. As you can see, it could allow sometime, but it can't be continuous and might not be timely. Now we have computer method. The method, the computer method of carrying out data processing has the following major features. Now we're looking at the features of the computer method. Let's look at the features. As the word says computer, just the the human factor and the mechanical factor now has been substituted by computer that does all the job. Now data can be steadily and continuously processed. Now the operations are practically not noisy. Very correct. There is a store where data and instructions can be stored temporarily and permanently. Very good. Errors can be easily and neatly corrected. True. Output reports are usually very neat, decent, and can be produced in various forms, such as adding graphs, diagrams, pictures, etc. Accuracy and reliability are highly enhanced. Below are further attributes of a computer, which makes it to be an indispensable tool for human being. As you can see, the features has said it all. Said data can be neat, steadily and continuously processed. With the help of the CPU and the storage device, data can be steadily and continuously processed. Computers are practically not noisy. That's very correct. Computers are electrical and they don't make noise. Now they are You don't make noise in the sense that if your computer functions properly and there are no issues, your computer is not expected to be noisy. There's a store where data and instructions can be stored temporarily and permanently. We have the ROM and we have the RAM. We have errors can be easily and neatly corrected. That is true with the help of the backspace button on the keyboard and the delete button. Errors can be easily corrected and neatly corrected. Outputs are usually very neat, decent, yes. The computer has a structure and it has fonts in which you can see, you can view. The atoms are very the visuals and the atoms that make up the visual are very good, and the fonts you can choose how you want it. Diagrams, your graph, and pictures, etc. Accuracy and reliability, very true, are highly enhanced. Now we see characteristics of a computer. Characteristics of a computer, we have speed, we have accuracy, we have storage. Now we have speed as the computer can manipulate large data at incredible speed and response time can be very fast. Now let's take note of this. Computer, very true, it can manipulate large data. Computer can manipulate large data at incredible speed and response time can be very fast. Manipulate large data and response can be very fast. Now we have accuracy. It's accurate, its accuracy is very high and it's consistent, can be relied upon. Computer accuracy is very high, it is reliable, and it's consistent. Errors committed in computing are mostly due to human rather than technological weakness. There are inbuilt error detecting in a computer. Very true. For example, if you are typing and you type in a correct and you type in the wrong spelling, the computer is going to have a red line on the base of what you have typed. That's the signal at which you should know that what you've typed is wrong. Thank God for technology these days with applications like Grammarly. Grammarly can easily help you correct your mistakes and rephrase it for you. Storage. It has both internal and external storage facilities for holding data and instructions. This capacity varies from one machine to the other. Memories are built up in kilo modules where K is equal to 1024 memory location. Now, memories are built up in kilo, where modules were K. Kilo, modules were K. Now, memories are built up in kilo modules where K is equals to where that means 1 kilo is, I think it's KB. I think it's supposed to be kilobyte. We have kilobyte, we have megabytes, we have gigabytes. I think it's supposed to be a KB, kilobyte, where K is 1024 memory location. So we have automatic. All these are under characteristics of computer: speed, accuracy, storage, automatic. Once a program is in the computer's memory, it can run automatically each time opened. The individual has little or no instruction to give to characteristics. One of the characteristics of computer is that it runs automatic. Reliability. Being a machine, a computer does not suffer human traits of tiredness and lack of concentration. Very good. It will perform the last job with the same speed and accuracy as the first job every time, even if 10 million jobs are involved. That is the reliability of the computer. There is no human factor of lack of concentration and tiredness. Flexibility. It can perform any type of task once it can be reduced to a logical step. Modern computer can be used to perform variety of functions like online processing, multi-programming, real-time processing. If you can explain it to the computer can give you correct answer to your instruction. What that means? Now we have the computing system. The computing system is made up of the computer system, the user, and the environment in which the computer is operated. Now, the computing system is made up of the computer system, the environment in which the computer is operated. We have the computer system. Computer system is made up of hardware and software. Now, the environment they were referring to, the environment we are referring to now is the hardware and the software. Now, the hardware, as the name implies, the hardware has to be something you can touch. Software has to be something you cannot touch, but you can only see. But the hardware you can touch and you can see. The computer hardware comprises the input unit, the processing unit, and the output unit. Now, we have the input unit as the keyboard, the mouse, the joysticks, and the likes. And the output unit, okay, let's just continue. Now we have the unit. The input unit comprises those media through which data is fed into the computer. Talked about that earlier on. Example include keyboard, mouse, joystick, trackball, scanner, etc. The processing unit is made up of the arithmetic and logical unit, AUL. AUL stands for arithmetic and logic unit. The control unit and the main memory. The control unit and the main memory. That's the processing unit. The processing unit is made up of two things, arithmetic and logical units. That's one. Control unit and the main memory. That's two. Control unit is made up of arithmetic unit and logic unit. Control unit and memory unit. Two things. Let's not forget that. The main memory, also known as primary memory, is made up of the read-only memory. The main memory is the primary memory. Well, if you are asked, what is the primary memory made up of? The primary memory of a computer is made up of ROM, read-only memory, primary, not secondary, and the random access memory. Now, we talked about processing units, what is made up. Processing unit is made up of ALU, arithmetic and logic unit, and control unit and main memory. Now, this main memory is known as the primary memory, and this primary memory is made up of two things, the ROM and the RAM. The ROM in full is said to be read-only memory, and the RAM in full is said to be random access memory. Now, the output unit is made up of those media through which data, instruction for processing the data, program, and the result of processing operation are displayed for the users to see. Now we are talking about the output. The output unit is what makes your instruction to be visible. Example of output units are the monitor visual display units, that's VDU, and the printer. Now we have software. Software are the series of instructions that enable the computer to perform a task or group of tasks. A program is made up of group of instructions to perform a task. Series of programs linked together make up software. Computer program could be categorized into system software, utility software, and application software. Now they are categorizing computer software into three. Now the first one is system software, utility software, and application software. And let's not forget, software are the series of instructions that enables computer perform a task or a group of tasks. Computer users. Computer users are the different categories of personnel that operate the computer. This is quite straightforward. We have expert users and casual users. The expert users could be further categorized into computer engineers, computer programmers, and computer operators. So which one do you fall to? That's a question I'll leave you to answer. The computer environment. The computing environment ranges from the building out the other elements of the computing system, namely the mother and the users, namely the computer and the users. The furniture auxiliary devices such as the voltage stabilizer, the uninterruptible power supply, UPS, that's uninterruptible power supply system. So before now, I don't even know what UPS stands for. So now I know uninterrupted power supply system, that's the UPS. The fans, the air conditioners, it is the schematic diagram of computing system is printed. You can see this is the schematic diagram of the computer. We have the computing system, hardware, software, users, and computing environment. Now we have the hardware. We have the hardware to be processing unit. We have on the left, the left hand side, we have input, we have output, as you can see, keyboard, mouse. All these questions they are not going to ask you in the exam because I'm not showing. We are using the computer, and all this is not going to be coming out. Let's just go computer software. You can see it's just a diagram of what we've spoken about. Expert users, end user, casual user, system engineer, programmers, computer data entry, computer users. See, now we have the conclusion. Now, this brings we are getting close to the end of the tutorial for today. The computer is a machine used for a variety of purposes. Its use its use transcends all areas of human endeavor, owing to the advantages of computer method of data processing over the manual and the mechanical method of data. Now, let me take that again. The computer is a machine used for a variety of purposes. Okay, I use computer for a lot of things, a variety of purpose. It is used in all areas of human endeavor. Okay, it transcends all areas of human endeavors, owing to the advantages of computer method of data processing over manual and mechanical method of data processing. Now, to explain this, now computer is more preferably to solve the problem of data processing. The manual method, the mechanical method are now obsolete because computer has transcend in all areas of human endeavor. Now we have the summary. In this unit, we have learned the following. Computer is an electronic device that can accept data, process it, and produce an output. Very correct. Computer method of data processing is superior to manual and mechanical method of data processing. Correct. Computer system is made up of the computer system. Computing system is made up of the computer system, the users, and the computing environment. Very correct. Computing system is made up of computer system and user and computing environment. Computing system is divided into three. What are the things that make up a computing system? We have computer system, users, and the computing environment. That brings us to the end of the tutorial. Let's ask our questions in the comment below. I look forward to answering your questions. Anywhere you feel you are lost, you need more explanation, please do not hesitate to message, do not hesitate to ask your questions, and let's all make our suggestion as to what the class is, as to how okay are we with the class and how okay are we with the tutorial. I look forward to seeing you in the next tutorial. Bye.